And next. And next. These are the New World regions. There's already a new constitution has been made for the United States of America. It's called the New States Constitution. It was paid for by your tax dollars over a 10-year period. It was developed by the Center for Democratic Studies in Santa Barbara, California, and it cost $25 million. The entire Constitution is also in my book. Next. You could see by there, Region 1 was the combination of the United States and Canada, and that's the real reason for the lowering of the trade restrictions between the United States and Canada. We are fixing to be merged. Next. And next. There are 10 regions in the New World Order, and you are looking at them now. Next. Next. What's one of the answers? Alternative 3. I also saw documentation, and I've already shown you documentation on slides, that there may have been somebody in the moon in 1958, and I can tell you right now, there is a base on the moon. We are attempting to colonize space because if their attempts to control our greed and our wastefulness and our destruction of this earth do not work, the only hope for the survival of the human race is colonization of other planets. Next. This is verification. I can't tell you who wrote this letter, but it is a letter that was delivered into our hands from, well, I can't tell you that, but this confirms that as far back as 1962, working for the Jet Propulsion Labs in Pasadena, she was working on photography taken of the moon and Mars from objects that went there. I can tell you that the first landing on Mars of a probe occurred on May the 22nd, 1962, sent back photographs and verified the existence of an atmosphere that could support life. This woman was married to a man. She says in this letter, his function was to design domed modular living facilities, next slide please, for colonies of Earth scientists to be stationed on the moon and then Mars. It was called Project Adam and Eve. We didn't get this letter, ladies and gentlemen, until August of 1989. I had already revealed the presence of a colony on the moon and Mars on July the 2nd, 1989. Okay, next. 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 Report from Iron Mountain on the possibility and desirability of peace. Next. This is really important. Though not yet expressly put forth as the development of a long-range sequence of space research projects with largely unattainable goals, this kind of program offers several advantages lacking in the social welfare model. First, it is unlikely to phase itself out regardless of the predictable surprises science has in store for us. The universe is too big. In the event some individual project unexpectedly succeeds, there would be no dearth of substitute problems. For example, if colonization of the moon proceeds on schedule, it could then become necessary to establish a beachhead on Mars or Jupiter and so on. Next. This is a book called Exploring Space with a Camera, published by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Next. In which you see tracks on the surface of the moon. Now I want you to notice where these tracks go. They start way up here. They go down into this valley, up over this hill, down in this valley, up over this hill, down in this crater, up over this hill, and down here. And NASA says it's rocks rolling downhill. Next. Next. Here's another one. Look at this. It goes way down in this crater, up here, over here, down in this little crater, up, down again and stops right there and makes a long shadow. Next. Here's another one.
So whatever was making those tracks was still there.
Yes. Next. Look here. Look at those tracks. Look at that object and look how big the shadow is. Here's another small set of tracks here. Goes out into the washout in the light. And here's another one. Comes up out of the crater and down here. And there's the object casting a shadow. Rocks rolling downhill. Next. These are official NASA photographs taken right out of a NASA publication. I didn't fake them. You can go get the same book and look at them yourself. They told us there's no water on the moon. I guess that doesn't call for any comment, does it? Next. This is another book that we had to get because they had pulled it off the shelves when they found out what was in it, and another one also. Also printed by NASA. Next. There's the title page. Next. And this is the other one, Atlas and Gazetteer of the Near Side of the Moon. We have located one in the library of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which the title is The Lunar Base, and we are trying to get someone in there to photograph it now. Next. 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 Right here, you can see a machine inside the crater throwing dirt out of the crater, and right there you can see a saucer sitting on the rim. Over here you can see a crater that's already been artificially mined and is just left vacant. Next. That's another view of it. You can no longer see the disk that was sitting on the rim. It's gone. Next. Pardon? I don't remember. We've already passed that page. Does everybody want to go back to it? Got to be quick. Go ahead. Next. Down in this crater, you see all kinds of artificial objects. We have no idea what they are. They are not natural. It's really strange. You can see here a building with a ramp coming this way and then up to the top, and then a flattened off top here and square corners all around it. You never find anything like that in nature anywhere. There are other objects, I won't go into them. That is the most obvious. It has square corners all the way around. Next. Here you can see the antenna from the lunar orbiter here. Look at these weird things in this crater over here. These are the ones we just looked at, and that's where the mining is going on, or what appears to be mining up there. And this is the artificial crater that we looked at. All of the other photographs that you saw were macro photography taken from this photograph out of the book. Next. Anybody see anything strange there? It's right out of the book, folks. Don't see anything strange? What's that? Next.
I don't know. What is it?
Give me the next slide. What is that? Give me the next slide. Okay, go back one. This looks exactly like a B-24 Liberator bomber. Is it? I don't know. Look over here. Here's another one. There's a wing, there's a body, there's a tail section. Small plane. Next. Look here. See this mountain that has been shaved off? The top is flat and there are 4 domes on it. Can you see it? Give me the next slide. I know there's somebody out there that's faking. They don't see it yet. Okay, give me another slide. Now can you see it? Right out of the book. Look at this dome here on this flattened off area. It looks like a piece of pie. There's a dome. 4 domes.